Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. Every time it starts with a glance. A look beyond the lens of the camera. A flash of emotion out of place with the surroundings. A scene in which the character's true self emerges. Winter Everett was never the storm in the family Chantel, a sweeping tale. The calm before it was her. The scream preceded by the breath. The center of peace in a chaotic house. Winter sat in the background, silently enduring the emotional wreckage while others smashed dishes, yelled over family dinners, stormed off sets, and demanded center stage. Even while she never held the plot hostage, she somehow managed to stay there. Reliable. Devoted. Disregarded far too frequently. In the shadows, however, lies power. And she was changing in the silence. In silence. With caution. Totally. Because Winter was creating something different as the world saw River attempt to reclaim his masculinity in front of cameras, Karen Everett clung to the spectacle of confrontation and Chantel's high-profile collapse and Pedro's unraveling. Not a company. Not a plot. Not a whole empire. She was fostering harmony. She was creating love. She was also working far away from the lights. She was not followed by tabloids. There were no fan accounts that followed her around. Yet, she was gradually changing from the child who had pleaded to be seen to a woman who no longer need attention to be complete. The picture then materialized like lightning in a quiet sky. Published a casual post to her Instagram account without any prior notice, fanfare, or indication of the customary performance that characterized her family's online persona. Her hand was entwined with another's. Theirs big, powerful, dark-skinned, his thumb gliding lightly over hers. A gleaming wedding band. No ostentatious dress reveal. No big reveal. Only 3 words. Yours forever. #married. No face was present. No name. No affirmation. Nevertheless, it had greater power than any scream. The narrative changed course at that point. The supporting cast no longer included Winter Everett. She wasn't the quiet, obliging little sister who nodded while everyone else destroyed herself. She was more than simply the girl who battled heartbreak, body image, and self-worth. She had changed. She was a woman who had discreetly regained her authority and granted it to a person who understood how to use it carefully. The internet took off. Rumors circulated on gossip websites and fan pages. Identity speculation was prevalent in Reddit conversations. She was accused by some of pretending. Some referred to it as a soft launch. Winter, however, did not recoil. She didn't inquire further. She didn't elaborate. After posting, she vanished. As the audience wasn't the intended audience. The chapter came to an end. Behind her, a door locked. A farewell to the girl who formerly relied on approval from others to feel worthy of love. Weeks later, the second wave arrived. A film. Brief. Ethereal. Close. It began on a beach, with the sound of far-off waves as the background. Dancing light on water. Palm leaves bending in a breeze. And then she was there. Winter. Her hair was tucked into a silk scarf as she walked barefoot in the beach, dressed in white linen. She chuckled. Not for show. Not for the camera. However, she appeared to have forgotten that she was being watched. And next to her, him. Still without a face. Out of frame. But sensed. Felt all the time. Something was said in Yoruba by a deep voice, his own. He gave her a forehead kiss. She shut her eyes. Grinned. No set was present. No sound design. Not a dramatic score. Nature alone. Simply have faith. Simply love. The following clips were connected like beads of prayer. They bowed their heads and held hands during a beautiful dinner. A leisurely dance under a moon that appeared to shine specifically for them. His arm was around her waist as she sat in a silk robe on a windowsill, gazing out at the sea. Her gelly was expertly tied, and her outfit was decorated with gold threads that glistened in the Lagos dusk during a modest traditional ceremony. Don't use hashtags. No advertisements. Not much fanfare. Just this. My safe haven, my husband. That was all. It was everything, too. The specifics would come to light eventually. Slowly. Silently. Never formally confirmed, but subtly corroborated by family-related sources. He was from Nigeria. Grew up in a very religious family. A man who has no ambition for fame or entertainment. A guy who found strength in tenderness and serenity in prayer. Winter was loved by a guy because of her past, not in spite of it. Their narrative started when she was undergoing her own metamorphosis and reconstructing her body, mind, and soul. He didn't see her because of the show she was attached to, the weight she shed, or the celebrity she carried. Behind the silence, he glimpsed the soul. He then waited. He waited for her to regain her trust. He bided his time until she recovered. He waited till she wanted him, but no longer needed him. And they got married when the moment was right. Twice. Once spiritually, once legally. Winter was dressed like a queen for a traditional Yoruba engagement ceremony in Nigeria. She danced barefoot on hallowed ground while the music throbbed through the ground. As elders sanctified their union, tears welled up in her eyes. She became full in that instant, surrounded by individuals who knew her from her heart rather than from a reality program. Not well known, not important, but complete. This was never about shock for Winter Everett. This has to do with sovereignty. Her life wasn't cut into an arc for once. Neither conflict nor content was created out of it. There was no streaming packaging for it. She owned it. Wholly. Not shareable. Actual. The teenager who used to silently defend her value has grown into a woman who didn't have to prove herself to others. Not to cameras. Not to be critical. Not to the makers. She is seen resting her head on his chest in one of the last scenes of her honeymoon montage. As they sit on the beach, the sun behind them melts into the horizon. He clings to her with reverence and protection. The coastline is kissed by the waves. She grins. No cosmetics. No filtering. Only her. The globe witnessed something it hadn't seen in years in that single still image. A calm woman, failing to live, failing to perform, but cherished. And ultimately, that was the biggest uprising of Winter. She didn't seek attention. She didn't insist on a plot. She just lived. And in that silence, between the chatter and the story, she discovered eternity. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.